Welcome back to First Time Homebuyer California. Toby Fernie, aka the Teacher Realtor, here with Caldwell Banker Realty in Monterey, California. Today I'll be sharing the steps for purchasing your first home from placing in an offer all the way up to getting the keys to your brand new home. Now this process should start after you've gotten a pre-approval done from a lender. Knowing what you qualify for is really important so you know what price range to start looking in for homes. When I meet with first-time homebuyers, I often relate the idea of purchasing your first home to running a hurdle race. It really does feel like a sprint, and you want to make sure that you do the right steps to clear each hurdle along the way so you can cross the finish line at the end. There are 4 hurdles throughout the process that I'll be talking about in this video and what each one looks like. You'll want to make sure that you're connected with an expert realtor and lender to help guide you through this process the first time you're purchasing a home. All right, the first hurdle and probably the biggest one is finding a home that you like and getting your offer accepted. Buying a home is a big commitment, so you want to make sure that you like the house enough to live in it for at least 2 to 5 years. When you find the right house, you're going to extend an offer through what is called the California Residential Purchase Agreement, or RPA for short. And yes, there is going to be a brand new RPA as of January 2022. Of course, they rolled out a brand new one right during the middle of a global pandemic. I don't see how that could create any issues, but I digress. There are many specifics that are negotiable when it comes to the RPA, such as the asking price, the number of days until you close and get the keys to the home, the type of loan that you use, and a number of other components that you're going to want to make sure you discuss that with your realtor before you send in that offer. Check out the 3 types of loans video from our channel if you haven't seen that video yet, as it will help describe the 3 different categories that there are when you're considering purchasing with a loan. The second hurdle is what's known as clearing the physical contingencies after you've done your inspections. It is negotiable whether a buyer or a seller pays for those inspections done on the house, and it really depends on which part of California you're in, whether or not the buyers do that when you're in contract or whether the sellers do it prior to listing the home for sale. It is critical that you get a highly respected professional to come in and inspect the house, make sure that the home is what it appears to be before you finalize purchasing that home. I always recommend at a minimum a home inspection and a termite inspection. After you get those inspections done, the general home inspector may recommend that you get an additional professional to come in there, such as an electrician, roofer, or plumber for a second opinion. One thing that many first-time homebuyers are unaware of is that after those inspections are done, you are still in the negotiations phase, unless you have released your physical inspection contingency with your offer. After you've completed the inspections, you can then take a look and submit what is known as a request for repairs. In that request for repairs, you can request a reduction in price, a credit for some of those findings, or that the sellers repair something that was found prior to the close of escrow. Buyers will typically request a credit, a reduction in price, or a repair when there are health and safety related items that come up in the inspections. For example, if the house has a faulty electrical system, that would be a health and safety related item that you could request a credit or repair for. If there's something aesthetic such as a dented door, that is something that is far less likely to be accepted by the sellers when it comes to repairs or credits. Not always the case, but sometimes buyers and sellers will split the cost right down the middle. So if you have an estimated $10,000 worth of work that needs to be done to the home, maybe the buyers will spend $5,000 on making those repairs and the sellers will make up the rest. Have your realtor review the reports and speak with the inspector at inspection day. Try to determine with your realtor what is a reasonable and likely to be accepted request for credit or repairs. Having these done properly can save you thousands of dollars in the negotiation piece when it comes to inspections. In California, unless adjusted and specified differently in the RPA, you have 17 days to complete those inspections and put in your request for repairs. At that 17-day time period, you're going to need to release your physical inspection contingency, which means that you're not going to come back and ask for credits, repairs, or a reduction in price after that. The third hurdle is having the home appraised at the agreed upon purchase price. So if you're in contract for, say, $500,000, an appraiser, or really a representative from the bank, is going to need to come in and say that they agree that the home is actually worth $500,000. If the home appraises at value or above, you're golden. If it appraises for less than the agreed upon contract price, there are a few options that you can move forward with. Make sure that you subscribe and check back later, as I will be doing a video on what the steps and options are if your home doesn't appraise at the purchase price. In today's competitive seller's market, many buyers have been removing their contingencies up front, such as their appraisal or their inspection contingency. You're going to want to make sure that you feel comfortable with the state of the house and its ability to appraise at the value that you're in contract for before you do that. The last major hurdle is getting your final loan approval. A pre-approval is not the same thing as a finalized loan approval. If you make any major changes to your employment or your financial situation in between the time that you get into contract to the close of escrow, you may not be approved for your finalized loan. So that means do not close or open any new credit cards or do anything that could impact your credit. Do not make any major purchases such as buying a new car once you're in contract. You're going to want to make sure that you're working with a highly qualified mortgage lender throughout this process so they can help explain to you what you need to do from pre-approval to finalized loan approval and help you meet all of the timelines required according to your contract. Both the appraisal and the finalized loan should be completed by your mortgage lender, and hurdles 1 and 2 should be completed with the assistance of your realtor. Do you enjoy paperwork? Well, you're in luck. In California, each step along the way comes with a lot of paperwork, so prepare yourself for at least weekly, if not daily, emails of paperwork that you're going to need to complete. Much of this paperwork is time sensitive. If you're a first-time homebuyer and you found this information useful and you would like to learn more, check the description below and RSVP to our upcoming free Zoom first-time homebuyer seminar. If you have any questions or would like any further explanation about the steps for purchasing a home here in California, feel free to give me a call or send me an email. Like and subscribe, share with anyone who you think may find this information useful. Stay tuned for future content all about purchasing your first home here in the state of California.